team, it's Daniel again with Brazos Valley Boars and Varmits. So today I am doing a review on the AGM Sidewinders. Now you notice that I have two of these in my hand. AGM actually has 4 different models. They have 2 that are 384, 2 that are 640. On the 384, they've got a 25mm lens and a 35mm, and then on the 640, they have a 35 and then a 50mm lens. Today, I have the 35 384 and the 50 640. So both of these are wonderful, wonderful monoculars. And before I get any further into this, I need to let y'all know that I got these from Paul Tyson over at GearTheHunt.com. Now, again, I want to remind you of my relationship with him. I am not getting paid for this. He has been sending me things to review, and I have been making videos to do reviews, but obviously want to let y'all know that this is a straight shooting guy that is serious about this business, and he's got some of the best customer service that you're going to be able to get in this industry. So if you're thinking about getting these or anything else in this thermal world, guys, talk to him. He really knows his stuff, and he's got plenty of experience to shoot you in the right direction. So let's get into this. Now, rather than holding up both of these the entire time, I'm just gonna hold up one. I am a 640 snob. I love 640 stuff, so I'm primarily gonna be holding up this one. But let's talk about pricing, since we are talking about, you know, a 640 high quality thermal monocular. So on the 384s, you can get the 25mm for about $2,000. And then the 35mm is going to be about $2,200. When you go to the 640, the 35mm is about $3,000. So there's quite a bit of a jump there. And then, but you're getting 640. And guys, their 640 has come a long ways. But we're going to talk about that a little bit more. And then the 50mm, which is this one right here, is about $3,500. So there's your pricing. Let's talk about the specs a little bit. I know that gets kind of boring. And obviously, because we have 4 different models that are very similar, I'm not going to talk through all of these. I am just going to throw them up on the screen like we talk about. However, at the same time, it does feel like for the different magnifications, they do have a good weight for each one of those. They do have a good field of view for each one of those. And everything else that you would think that you would want to look at, like, it just makes sense. And they've done a really good job on this product. But let's talk about what this is actually going to get you. So just like traditional monoculars, this is just a long, slender tube that fits great in your hands. And the first thing that you're going to want to notice when you pick this up is your button layout. And they've got the 4 buttons in a row. And if you notice, they've got a ridge right here in behind the power button. And then they've got different ridge patterns on your other buttons. Notice that this front ridge is off of the power button, but then your 3 that you're going to toggle with a whole bunch have a button on the front, a button in both the front and the back, and then a button on the back. So that kind of like really helps you understand what button you're on, instead of just randomly pushing a button and then realizing, oh man, I actually started turning this thing off and now I got to turn it back on, and you're screwing things up. No, guys, you get used to this a little bit and you realize, oh yeah, this is really, really nice. And so AGM, great job on this button design. Everybody is trying to figure out how to improve user interface, and this is a big thing that y'all have done for the market. Now, just like most traditional buttons that you would expect, we've got a power button. This next button has a camera on it, so that's going to be how you take your video or your pictures. This does do video and audio, and it has 64 gigabytes of internal memory, and that's across all 4 lines. So lots of memory for you to save those hunts in here. The next one is going to be your menu button, and then the very last button is going to be your zoom button. And guys, this menu is very easy to understand, very intuitive, nothing difficult about this at all. Now let's go to the front. We've got a really nice lens that's so clear you can see me seeing you, see me, see you inside of this lens here. Very, very good glass. I'm gonna go ahead and spill the beans a little bit. AGM has really been stepping up their quality. You know, it feels like AGM has been a company that has always met that budget market, and guys, they still are there, but they are taking that budget market and giving you better and better stuff, including what feels like a whole lot of a better lens, better screen, better everything about these thermal monoculars. You know, their old monoculars were the Taipans, and I owned the 19. It was a great little thing. That thing was wonderful for what it was. However, at the same time, this next generation is way better than the Taipans were. So, I mean, I hate to be the guy that tells you, go sell that and buy this one. But at the same time, like, I understand if your Taipan works, man, it works. At the same time, man, these new models, they're really good. So, focus ring is going to be in the traditional spot that all your other focus rings are going to be on your monoculars. It's very easy to turn, at the same time not too easy, so they got that nice medium there. And this lens cover, now this is something I've become to appreciate more and more, is the fact that it has a spring built into it. And that spring is real nice in that wherever you put it, it kind of keeps it there and gets it out of the way. And so that way you won't have this clanging sound or anything like that. And you won't also have it kind of like slowly creeping in. So and that's a cheap thing, right? Just throw a spring in there. Guys, they're trying to make a better and better product. And it's these little things like this that actually count. And so they're doing a great job on this. Flip over to the other side, and this funny contraption is going to be the battery compartment. Now on the battery, they're saying that these get up to 7 hours. That's what's listed on their website. And I'm gonna say that I am personally not getting that much time with it. But the reason that they say up to is because these are using 18650 batteries. And so depending on what battery you're getting is going to depend on what kind of battery life you're getting out of it, right? Now, at first, whenever you get it, mine came with these batteries that say HM3632DC. And I was I was super confused. Like that looks like an 18650, but it says something else. That's weird. Why would they do that? But then on the website it says 18650. So I've took a couple of other brands of 18650s that I've been using, popped them in there, ran just fine. Now again, you saw like that's 3 different types of batteries. So my battery life has varied on it. Usually I'm getting somewhere between like 5 or 6 hours depending on how the night's going on these. And that's plenty of time, right? That's great run time. I'm not getting the up to 7, so I don't know which battery it is they're using for that. At the same time, 5 to 7 hours on just your toy K-Lot, whatever brand that actually is. Some knockoff 18650 that was just a few bucks. Lots of good run time. That you can't ask for better. So again, AGM, thank you for putting 18650s in all these. The way that this opens up, you have to pull that tab down and then grab the top lip and then kind of pry that open so it's not going to accidentally open up on you anytime soon. And then it has the ribbon inside of there to help you pop that battery out. So real nice. And then you just kind of reverse that whole process, push it back in, and then slide it back up again. And so that's going to help keep that battery compartment secured. On the bottom is going to be where you have the cord, so that way you can plug it into whatever, your home computer, your laptop, whatever it is, to get the videos off of there. And then you've got your thread port, so that way you can put it on top of a bipod, monopod, tripod, whatever it is. And this, and all that works great. I do have a complaint about the design of this. One, I put most of my monoculars on a trigger stick from Primos, one of those tripods, and the threading is longer than what the port actually allows the threading to go into, so I have to use a rubber washer to fill in that gap. So like I kind of wish that this did have a little bit more length into it, and so that way I wouldn't have to use another thing, you know, carry those rubber washers around. However, at the same time, like, that is not a big deal. That is okay. The other thing I don't like about this right here is the fact that whenever I have a plate on here or that rubber washer, then that covers up my data port. And I can't, you know, I can't pull the videos off without taking the plate for my tripod off of it. Guys, if this is the stuff I have to complain about, well, that's pretty good, right? Because I'm just nitpicking at this point. Just like this next thing, that it has a lanyard strap. Now, I'm very appreciative that we do have a lanyard strap. However, I am spoiled that other manufacturers give you a strap that goes across your hand, so that way you don't have to grip the entire night. I'm spoiled on that. I would like to see this to have an actual adjustable hand grip on here. However, again, like, at the high quality that they're putting out for these budget prices, man, like, I can just kind of get over the fact that I don't have the strap that I want, right? So that's fine, but it does come with this lanyard. Another thing that, you know, you wouldn't think about it being that nice, but it also comes with a sleeve inside of the packaging. And if you're like me and you're just throwing all these things inside of like one bag and then they get all scratched up and stuff, it's really nice to have this sleeve. It's just a neoprene sleeve is all that it is, but they throw that in there to give you that extra layer of protection where during travel, you're not going to be damaging your optics, just getting them scratched up for any reason at all. And so, again, something else that they're throwing in to make this nicer, so that way your money goes so much further with AGM. Great job, guys. Y'all are killing it. This eyepiece does not really push out of the way if you don't like that. However, y'all can see that I wear glasses, and this has not been a problem for me at all. And so, like, it just has been a non-issue. You can easily turn that. That's not a problem. So you can just push that off to the other side and then hold it up to your eyeball and see quite well. You know, so this rubber eyepiece is, you know, it's not flimsy, but at the same time, it's not in the way either. So guys, AGM is doing more than just being that entry-level thermal company. They are still giving you that entry-level price, but they're giving you higher and higher quality products. These are good things. I've enjoyed using them, and man, it is going to be really hard to send this back to Paul whenever he says, bro, you've had it long enough, send it back, because this has just been so nice. Everybody I've handed these things off to have just been wowed by them. I got one buddy that doesn't even want to look through it because he knows as soon as he does, he's just like, I got to upgrade. So these are wonderful thermals. And again, if you're going to be looking at wanting one of these, please go over to gearthehunt.com. Paul Tyson has been wonderful for everybody that I've ever heard has had to deal business with him. He's been just a top-notch customer service, and he's super helpful on answering all your questions. And guys, I hope that this review was helpful to you as well. And y'all go out there, keep being awesome. And guys, this is going to be another thing to help you remember that it is always hog season. Bye.